Say what needs to be said. It's your boy, Mr. Pick Six, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Sam. We're in the building tonight. Thursday night vibes, baby. Thursday night football just finished, man. We are right on time, man. As soon as Thursday night football finished, we are right on deck, baby. What's happening tonight? We got to cover this, Tua Tagovailoa situations in the Miami Dolphins versus the Buffalo Bills. And what went wrong? What's happening with the Miami Dolphins? How they look so awful. Talk about a little Coach Prime, you know what I mean? Got to get a little bit of that. And then we got to talk about these old quarterbacks. We got Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, just to name a few. You know what I mean? Say what needs to be said. We in the building. Asante, Mr. Pick Samuel, Mr. Pick Six Samuel. How y'all doing tonight, man? Thursday night football, man. How we feeling about that, man? How we feeling about that? All Dolphins expectations are going down the drain, man. It looks like they have no hope for the future, no hope for tomorrow. And it's getting pretty bad. It was really bad last week. Somehow, guys, had his hand on the Dolphins last week. But we got to get into this thing. Recap of the game, man. How do we feel about these Miami Dolphins, man? First of all, first and foremost, salute to my Say What Needs to Be Said family. Yes, sir. Rick Vegan Barber in the building. But the Dolphins, man, first and foremost, the Dolphins. Listen, man, Dolphins are very, 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 very lucky. They are very lucky. They are not 0-2 by the grace of God. Jacksonville didn't fumble that ball in the end zone. You hear me? They will be 0-2, and it will be all hell breaking loose down here in South Florida, right? But watching the game and last game against Jacksonville and tonight against the Buffalo Bills, man, this defense is certified weak, man. This defense is weak. And I don't know this change with Coach Weaver, Anthony Weaver, man. They gave it up to Jacksonville, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and not the Bills. Well, usually the Bills anyway. The Bills are used to spanking that, but you know what I mean? And I don't know what was going on, but to me, it seemed like the Dolphins needed that energy from last week. One of them goddamn players should have came down the street speeding and zooming all around the place and got pulled over so the team could have came together and started some drama. Now everybody come together like last week and come with that energy and come out there and spank some butt, because this was a piss poor effort tonight, man. Piss poor effort tonight, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, maybe that would have got the team fired up. But tonight was goddamn embarrassing, man. Tua, god dang Tua, man. But tonight was a perfect illustration of why I use the name Mr. 123 for my boy Tua Tagovailoa, man. Tonight was a perfect illustration. Mr. 123 he is anticipating routes entirely too early in pass situations. He just got to slow down a little bit in these pass situations and stop rushing his rhythm. That's what he's doing. He's getting back there so fast, trying to, he's rushing his drop back, trying to be so fast, and he's rushing his rhythm, and it's causing the timing to be off. Don't rush the rhythm. Make it a timing route, hit the man. You know what I mean? And that pass to intended for Chosen, to me, that was all Tua's fault. That was all Tua's fault. They could blame me. They could say Chosen just got there. Robbie Chosen, he just got there, whatever, and they haven't had the chemistry and so on and so forth. That ball was way over his head. And I know what Tua, it looks like, from the fan point of view, it looks like Tua expected him to be a little bit deeper. But that was about as deep as you can go before the pass rush get there. You understand? So we're going to put that on Tua. Tua was Tua tonight, right? You know what I mean? But, at the end of the day, it's hard for Tua to go through his reads and make a strong, sturdy, or deep, accurate pass. And that's what it comes down to. It's hard for him to be able to, all right, this read not there, second read not there. Bum, let me make a strong, sturdy throw. Let me be able to step in through it into this pass. Whether I got to zip it in there, a 30-yard, dart, or I have to hang it up in a 50-yard touchdown to Tyreek Hill. He doesn't have that ability. So Mike McDaniel is doing an excellent job by making these 1, 2, 3 plays, quick rhythm passes and getting it out. He's doing a great job for Tua. And that's created exactly for Tua. It has to be, right? Now, Tua goes down. Tua goes down with a freaking concussion. And I don't know, how many concussions is this in the NFL? 3, 4? I know he had some serious ones back to back a couple seasons ago, but at the end of the day, I think it's clear to say that Tua is concussion prone. And, unfortunately, man, that stuff catch up with you, and you might have to call it quits. But, we praying for him, and we hope that's not the case, and we hope he gets full recovery and so on and so forth. But man, that hit wasn't even a vicious hit, that Tua just took. It was just a normal play, normal tackle and go. His head hit his shoulder pad. I know that your head is a very tender, tender spot on your body, but that wasn't even concussionable. You understand what I'm saying? So, and if you don't understand from concussions, they don't get better. You can't exercise your brain to make it better from concussions and stuff like that. The concussions, they only get worse and worse and worse. The more your head becomes concussed, the tender it gets. And boom, then you see little simple hits. I was fortunate not to have too many concussions. I used a big metal helmet, and you can see simply that the slightest hit that Tua takes on his head will make him concussed. And now that I'm far moved away from football, not playing no more, and the littlest things, I watch football players running off the field, and watch probably 10 years from now, you'll see their band or something like that. All these little things add up. You see everybody tapping you on the head. Man, when you're playing a football game, it doesn't feel like anything. But away from the game, you just keep getting hit in the head like that. Man, that is a lot of trauma being targeted on the head. But now that Mike Tua goes down, and he's going to have to be at least out one game, and usually 2 games, especially with all the lawsuits and concussion lawsuits going on in the NFL, they got to be real cautious of that. How does Mike McDaniels scheme up some great schemes for the backup quarterback? Because that's one thing Mike McDaniels is good at. Mike McDaniel is a great schemer. He can scheme up some great scheme up some great plays for defense and make a quarterback effective, right? But does he have a backup quarterback ready for these emergency situations? That's what it's about. Like I said, if y'all been following me for a long time, I said it's important for every team to have 2 starting quarterbacks. 2 quarterbacks that can go out there and lead your team, just for situations like that. You playing and you are so excited for the season, you pumped up, you're spending money on this free agent, this and that, and boom, the key player, your number 1 leader on the team, the one that handles the ball, every play goes down. Now, how do you bounce back from that? If you either a great coach and you can get your team ready to scheme up offense, scheme up defense, make the players be able to adjust, or B, you have a backup quarterback ready, a quarterback that has the ability and been there before to lead a team. As simple as that. So if you're not having 2 quarterbacks these days on your roster that are able to start, you're losing right off the rip. Because, man, this is a vicious game. You're going to get injured. There's no way around it. It's like riding a bike. From the time you start riding a bike, you're going to fall. You're going to fall. So injuries will happen in the NFL. That's just the way it is, right? Now, the season is unfortunately over. Or is it over? Right? Everybody's expecting to be over. For me, I expected them to lose last game. That game was over. And you know why? You know what's the difference this year? It's the defense. The defense sucks. The defense sucks bad. And we're going to get into why the defense sucks. But if they can somehow get past Seahawks and the Titans, things might start to develop and camaraderie. Maybe Tua can be back and things like that. But Jalen Ramsey, man, hey, this is, I'm a cornerback, so that's my specialty. That's my profession. Cornerbacks, you know what I mean? So I look at cornerbacks and I grade and watch cornerbacks. And Jalen Ramsey, again, Jalen Ramsey used Vic Fangio as a scapegoat, complaining about the way he used them last season. Just to be used the same way this season. And he's still lining up in different positions, whether it's the nickel or wherever on defense. And you know why? Because he's big and he tackles very well. So unless he's out there on the outside, breaking up every pass, having a bunch of passes defended, or intercepting a lot of passes, the defensive coordinator is going to use him to the best of the defensive ability. Unless you're locking it down, like I said, on the outside, making a bunch of plays, intercepting balls, what else they supposed to do? You understand? And that's the prime example of why we can't make excuses. You just got to go out there and make plays, no matter where you at, what defense is called, or whoever the coach is. It's time to make a goddamn play, Jalen Ramsey. I'm watching this 2 weeks in a row. He had a simple chance to make a play, right? And then I'm so tired of seeing all these fake real ones trying to give Ramsey all this hype and credit. And he ain't producing. And he had, like I say, he had that perfect opportunity tonight with the running back running down the sideline. I think it was the second quarter to make a play. And again, he's just running with the guy. It's the technique, man. You got to stay on the upfield shoulder and don't give up the cushion, man, and go make the play. Stop chasing the guy and put yourself in position to cut the guys off and make the play, man. And stop sitting on the routes. That's the problem. You can't make plays sitting on routes. And that play tonight, man, looks like the same exact play from last week when it was playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, where they had a post in the end zone that Jalen Ramsey had a pass interference that led to a touchdown. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all thoughts, man. What y'all think about the Dolphins, Jalen Ramsey, and Tua, man? Y'all talk to me, man. Tua has not announced his retirement. I can't miss that, man. No player me. What's happening? It was that Pokemon. Melrose in the building. One time for Melrose, baby. Y'all don't know where Melrose at, man. If y'all ain't from Lauderdale or Florida, y'all come to Broward County. Come down there on Broward Boulevard, go to like 441. Just go in the little neighborhood back up in there. That's where Melrose at, right? Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. Let me know. Now the defense, man. I talked a little bit about the defense already. We got, they're under the leadership of Anthony Weaver, man. And they keep trying to pub it up, but this guy I don't see how the defense playing the type of defense that a championship defense needs to play. He doesn't have them playing at a high level at all. They don't play with no intensity. They don't play with no urgency, and they're not physical at all in the run game. You know what I mean? So what is this Anthony Weaver guy doing, right? The defense is definitely the weak link when it comes down to the Dolphins. And, when you get to pointing the finger and playing the blame game like they did last year, you let good quality coaches leave, like Vic Fangio, and now he's at Philadelphia Eagles. They're feeling good. They're doing good about themselves, man. He should have still been there, man. I think he would have did a better job than what's going on right now, man. I know Anthony Weaver, he's a brother, but shoot, man, that was a mess. That was a mess. And for the Bills, man, I like how Sean McDermott has this defense playing. They are mixing up the calls. I mean, not just playing man to man. He's calling cover two, confusing Tua Tagovailoa, because man to man makes it easy for the quarterback to have an easy read. Just think about it. Everybody has a man. Everybody route. All you have to do is just pick someone to throw the ball as soon as they cut on their route. And that's what man to man. But when they're in different zones, now you have to figure out what different defenders are going to be so you don't throw the ball to them. So that was the difference tonight, man. Sean McDermott had that defense playing. And then one thing about Tua too, man, it's like we seen that arm strength is very critical in NFL, and he really just don't got it. He just don't have the arm strength that you need to be a championship quarterback or an elite quarterback in the NFL. I have a lot of picks on Tua, man, but that's that's a whole nother subject. Man, let's get into a little Shannon Sharp, man, and I guess the Ocho Cinco, man. This is Shannon Sharp is going crazy out here, man. Y'all, what do y'all think about this whole phone leak situation? Do y'all think this was a real situation, or do you think this was planned and coordinated accordingly? Because it's hard for me to understand. How can you drop your phone? It's on live, and then you immediately get to work. You understand what I'm saying? This stuff had to be planned out. But it's funny, man. It's funny. Unc don't be lying on that show when he talk about what he be doing. Unc sound like a uncle and a horse at the same time. A 60-year-old horse. Unc get it down, man. Stay out of people private life, man. But did y'all see that the argument they had, right, when Unc was going off on Ocho Cinco, speaking about his professionalism and expectations they have for each other at the show and whatnot and this and that and the other. One thing I see with Unc, man, is while he going off on Ocho. Ocho ain't phased, man. He ain't phased by nothing in life. He just is a solid guy. He don't get too high. He don't get too low. He's just keeping it solid, right? But the one thing I seen that when Unc was going off on Ocho, Unc be sassy, boy. Unc could get real sassy when he getting his feelings and he trying to go off on somebody. Boy, that sassiness was coming out when he was going off on Ocho. Ocho was like, man, listen, man, I ain't worried about none of that. I'm still gonna be me. I'm still gonna do me, and ain't nobody gonna stop me. You understand what I'm saying? But what y'all think about Unc, man? Did he set that up, man? Did he set that up, or was that an absolutely honest mistake? For the life of me, I can't understand how that could be a mistake. And the first thing they do in Hollywood, when you're trying to blow up, be bigger and bigger, reach the masses, what they do? You come out with some type of sex tape, right? And that's as close as your sex tape you can get. But your name is buzzing. Now you got porn websites hitting them up, maybe porn, people wanting them just make porn videos, period. And that probably was the goal. When you're single like that, you could move around and do that. But yeah, man, that old Unc, man. That's old Unc, man. Unc crazy, man. But man, let's talk about these quarterbacks, man. These 40-year-old quarterbacks coming up this weekend. We got Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins, right? And we have to understand why these quarterbacks are so these 40-year-old quarterbacks are so sought upon because of Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. And Tom Brady and Peyton Manning need to be compensated for all these old quarterbacks breaking the bank, because why else are the damn owner signing these old players? Because they thought they can get another Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. And I hear people trying to justify that it being more and more prevalent that 40-year-old quarterbacks will be in the NFL because they are protecting them from the rules and stuff like that. And I don't think that's true. I think that we just so happen to have two of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game to play into their 40s. And now everyone think that they can sign a 40-year-old quarterback and get him top dollars, and go out there and win. And that's not the case. It is clearly showing that it's a terrible decision by owners, GMs, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? But did you see Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins running around? I don't understand that Achilles injury it's worse than an ACL injury as far as rehab and recovery. That rehab, that the Achilles is so tender and stiff, right? It got to get strong and back flexible. And you can see Kirk Cousins barely can move left and right and explode on it on his Achilles. And Aaron Rodgers the same way. He can't even be as accurate as he used to be because he needs a full year and some change to be back fully healthy from a Achilles injury. That's usually how they take, along with ACLs and so on and so forth. But yeah, at the age of 40, how much better can you get when you're coming down with these type of injuries? And this is gonna be a wake up call. This is just a phase going on in NFL right now that these older quarterbacks can sustain a season and win a championship for a team. I don't think this will continue to happen. But it's crazy times in the NFL. So we'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? Let me see what y'all talking about in the comments in the chat one time. Went to the Dolphins. Who is that? Cruzo923. I haven't seen much of the Dolphins over the last couple of years, but it seemed to me that teams greatly miss that big DT who signed with the Raiders, Wilkins. Yeah, definitely that. He was definitely a big part of the run. But also, like I say, man, Vic Fangio is definitely, you know what I mean? But look up his name while we chat. You understand? You feel me? Look up his name. But the run game looks pretty awful. And like you say, sometimes understand watching the games, you might have a lot of passing situations where the defense is prepared for the pass or a pass defensive play is called. And then, big gaps open up and then they get a lot of yards. So, certain situations are, you got to analyze it differently. You understand what I'm saying? But Coach Prime, man, Coach Prime. Let's get back into this Coach Prime. Y'all seen, man, I went viral. We went viral, man, talking about Coach Prime and his recruiting habits and what he need to do to get them big hauls in there on the offensive line, defensive line. Basically, stop thinking everybody wants to just come to Colorado because he clearly he made a statement and it's well documented that he doesn't visit anyone, leave the campus, visit anyone homes, anything like that. So he needs to, change those things and get those big hauls out there so they can run the ball. But if y'all haven't heard and y'all ain't seen, man, and I didn't have time to pull up the clip because it's right after the game. But all the big name media personalities and broadcasters, commentators, what do you want to call them? They're starting to turn on Coach Prime. You know what I mean? And it's like, you gave him his flowers before he deserved them. You never let the man have his chance to prove himself. Everybody's acting like he was such a great coach and great leader right off the bat because of his promotional skills, I guess, or his notoriety, his fame, whatever you want to call it, right? And you have to prove it to me. I don't believe in the hype. I'm from the show me state. Everything in life has to be proven to me. Can't just say anything or expect me to believe something because everybody else does. That's just not how it goes. I like to look at facts and analyze my things because my common sense is the greatest key you can have in life. And common sense didn't show me that anything, we ain't gonna get into that, you know what I mean? But like I said, it's funny to see like all these like I say, commentators. We got Stephen A. Smith, I think the Lambert show, whatever, you know what I mean? Everybody started to turn on all these big names. But it was just so funny how people was expecting the Coach Prime to go to a bowl game, make the playoffs. Even one guy said in the B, go down and be undefeated. You understand? And that's just wild. It's like, give him a chance and understand that him promoting is different than him having to go out there and coach and win. You know what I mean? So, and it's like Coach Prime is Coach Prime. And the desires that he have are mostly for him. And the attention he wants to put attention on himself and the kids. And he want to put his kids in the best predicament as possible, just as any of us would, any of us dads would, right? And I see that's the biggest issue for Dion. Coach Prime took the coaching job as he took playing at NFL. And you can't do that. You can't become a coach and take the same disposition as you did as a player. No, you got to change your ways and your habits and how you're acting and things like that. And I think that's his biggest downfall right now with Coach Prime. He he's taking the same stance, man, as he did, and that's not working out so well because it's not about just you. You can't go out there and make all these statements, good, good and or bad, and it's not just about you. You have a fan base, a huge fan base that's been there for years. You have numerous amounts of kids that's watching up or watching, watching everything you say, hoping and praying you say something great and good about them. You understand what I'm saying? So it's different emotions, different challenges when you're being a coach. And Coach Prime, like I said, when he was a player, he was great at marketing himself, promoting himself, you know, making predictions and going out there and execute. Other kids, other players might not want that pressure and attention and stuff like that. You understand? So, you know, out here and say what needs to be said. We got to talk about it. We got to say it. And for the future of Colorado and Coach Prime, this is a very important game. This game against Colorado State, and it's going to come down to one thing. It's going to come down who can stop the run and who can run the ball. And I don't know if in a week notice if Colorado can fix that. But to me, it's simple. Just line up in I formation, give the offensive line a chance to go out there and be physical, and things will happen. Things will happen, man. It's that simple. But if you don't try, man, it's not going to never happen. And I hate to see this new new offensive thought process where everybody just want to throw the ball and think that's what it takes to win. If you look at the good teams that still win, you got the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, they didn't do so good. You got Kansas City. Who else you got? You got the Patriots did good. I can't think right off my head. But even Buffalo Bills tonight. All these teams are having a balanced attack, right? Balanced attack. There are only so many. I don't even know if there was a gunslinger that just won the Super Bowl. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes, but that's a different type of talent. Different type of talent. You understand what I'm saying? So, we're rooting for Coach Prime. We want to see Coach Prime do good, just like all our brothers and stuff and sisters out there, leading men and women, and you know what I mean? So shout out to Coach Prime. You know what I mean? Thursday night football, man. That was a crazy game, man. That was a crazy game. But say what needs to be said, man. We about to check on out, man. How y'all feeling in the chat? That was a crazy game. What else we need to talk about, man? I talked about the cornerback. Talked about Jalen Ramsey. I have so much more expectations for Jalen Ramsey, and it should be so easy for him, but he keep putting himself in the incorrect positions to make the play. As a cornerback, you can't be a chaser. You can't chase the ball. You have to put yourself in an anticipated position and the leverage to be able to pick the ball off, man. And dang, I just want to see the man do good. So I come over here and big him up, man. That's what we're going to do at Say What Needs to Be Said. But until next time, man, I'm going to see y'all. Say what needs to be said. We out, baby.